Turning now to North Africa, where a massive search is underway for two missing U.S. soldiers. The troops were reported absent on Sunday. Officials say there is no sign of terrorism. They were involved in an overseas training mission. Chris Livesay is there covering the drills and the search.
Good morning. Well, our embed with the U.S. military started off as a training exercise, but has turned into a real-life rescue mission. Thousands of personnel are gathered here in the Moroccan desert to train on the latest in battlefield tech. Now, many of them are using it to try and save their fellow soldiers. Aircraft have been scouring the Moroccan coastline for the missing soldiers since Saturday night, here where the Saharan desert meets the Atlantic Ocean. According to defense officials, the soldiers were off-duty, hiking, when they fell off a cliff and into the crashing waves. This is the camp where those two service members went missing from. And now what started off as a training exercise has turned into a real-world operation for their brothers and sisters in arms to save them. Our CBS News team and I were inside our tent Saturday night when suddenly officials called everyone to attention for a head count. Aircraft were soon circling overhead. They have yet to cease. CBS News is here following the military on a large-scale annual exercise known as African Lion. More than 7,000 personnel from over 30 nations, with a growing focus on artificial intelligence, autonomous systems, and drones. Now, those drones, intended for the training ground, are being deployed sooner than these service members could have imagined in an effort to bring the missing home. It's been a sobering experience for these young men and women. We had just interviewed one of the young masterminds behind the display of this drone technology. Little did we know that hours later, they'd be using it to search for his fellow soldiers.
Shalom, call all Yahweh Shem Shabbat Shem Kakodash, double honor, should the apostles and the bishops, the great millstone, even the elders that came before them, that tells us truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers and push the word. In truth and in sincerity, the hopeful life tabernacle of David. The other Yahshua, shalom and salutations to you all. Morocco. All right, 2 U.S. soldiers missing in Morocco, which is on the continent of Africa, if you will. All right, so with that, let's see. List the African nations that are allied with the U.S. Okay, out of all the African nations, I need a map. Okay, so I see where this is going. Let me see. Okay, so Africa on the map. How do I get there? This ain't trying to let me do a damn thing. Show the African nations on a map. And how many are there? Okay, there's a lot. Get out of there. Let's just get this real quick. Is it big enough? Good enough. Okay, so look at all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's say there's 20. Okay. If there's 20, I said list the African nations that are allied with the U.S. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of, let's say 20. 4. All right. And this is significant. Why? Okay. Because of this. Bear with me. This is Ezekiel. I did this the other day. Ezekiel 38. Okay. Now, let's look at this. Okay. Because in the KJV, here we are. And I want to go here. Ezekiel 38 and 5. It says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them. We know who Persia is. That's Iran. Who is Ethiopia? Who is Libya with them? Is it, where's that? Is it just this? Here's Libya. Here's Libya. Here's Ethiopia, round or about. Is it just those two little nations today when we're dealing with Ezekiel? Is it Ethiopia, Libya? Because when we go up here, it turns into people, not a nation, but a people. Cush. Who is Cush and who is Put? Those are people. That's not a land. Okay. Ethiopia. When you say Ethiopia and you define or you confine Ethiopia to what it says on this map and not those people that could be abroad, a lot of them, it changes this. What did this mean back then? Okay, Ethiopia and Libya. What does that mean? North Africa. See, look at that. That says Iran. See, what did Ethiopia mean? It means all of the Cushites, it means all of Cush and all of Put. North Africa. Not the people that are there now, right? And here's what I mean. Okay, the Upper Nile, Cush, Upper Nile region. Pure splendid Cush, Upper Nile, and Put. Let's get a little I just want to get a little clarity, a little more information. Cushites and Pushians, Ethiopians and Libyans. So what is meant by that? What in back then? What did that mean? So I looked this up. Let me see. Okay, Libya on an ancient map is nearly half the continent, right? Here's the answer. Yes. Libya was frequently used as the name for the entire African continent. So when you consider that, right, first of all, it's not just talking about just Libya or just where it says Ethiopia. Okay, we're talking about a whole people. Okay, the land of Ham is what we're talking about, really. Okay, that's what's being said. Now let's go back and let's analyze that again. It says, yes, that is accurate based on how ancient Greek and Roman geographers conceptualized the world. In antiquity, Libya was frequently used as the name for the entire African continent. Same thing with Ethiopia, okay? Rather than just the modern country. So you have to consider that, right? Libya meant North Africa. It says Libya referred to all the land west of the Nile, covering a vast majority of North Africa, while sub-Saharan Africa was known as Ethiopia. Okay? So basically that's saying the whole of Africa. When you say Libya and Ethiopia, that's meaning all of Africa will join you with their weapon. That's what that's saying, according to this, what we just read, okay, what does this say? Ethiopia. It says Libya meant North Africa, and sub-Saharan Africa was known as Ethiopia. So that's all, right, of Africa. If Libya meant North Africa, Ethiopia meant what was below that. South Africa. Okay. It says size representation on early maps, such as those described by Herodotus or Ptolemy. This Libya accounted for roughly 1/3 to 1/2 of the entire known world map, often appearing as a massive territory extending westward from Egypt. Okay? So it's not just that little piece. So when it says in Ezekiel that Ethiopia and Libya will join you too, it's talking about the land of Ham. Okay? And when you consider this, okay, let's go back and look at the allies. List the allies. Only Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia, and Kenya, and the rest of them, who do they belong to? If they're not on the side if these are the only nations on the African continent that are attached to the United States, who are the rest of them attached to? The other side, right? There's only two sides in this war. Right? And by extrapolation, we can see, right, that there's only 4 nations attached to the West, right? So what does that mean? What's going on in Morocco over there with this, right? Somebody come over from one of those other nations and, oh, you finna do what? You know we're at war, right? We're surrounding you. You got Morocco over here. You got Egypt over there. You got Tunisia. You know we're surrounding. We know what you're up to, right? So whatever happened to these two guys sounds like World War III to me, doesn't it? Doesn't it? I mean, we got to consider that. Okay, we have to consider that this is a lot more than just tiny Ethiopia and tiny Libya, who Gaddafi lost everything when they went in. No, it's not just that, right? Oh, well, these are the only ones that are going to fight in World War III, just Ethiopia and Libya, and nobody else is going to fight. No, the other ones are going to be on the other side. Okay? We already know who's going to win. So, knowing, right, that we're in World War III, right? What's going on right here? Look at the comments. What kind of animals? How 2 people fall off a cliff. Make it make sense. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. They got grabbed up and they're telling lies over there because now you know they got a chip and they already know the outcome. They know where they're at. They sure happened to grab up them other ones in Iran when they went and grabbed them when the plane went down. They knew where they were, didn't they? They had to wait to go up in there because they were being guarded, but they did know where they were. Benedict Donald. Wow. Okay, so anyway, this isn't the same one. One day, I want something. They got Kid Rock. See, this is how they're losing the war. Why would they put Kid Rock on the because MAGA doesn't want the war.
Struggling with your pet's matted
But if
fur?
you put Kid
This
Rock
double
on there,
tooth pet comb is a game changer. It's dual.
you put Kid Rock on there, MAGA will want the war.
Patriotism or propaganda? That's the question exploding online after Kid Rock dropped a high-octane, military-style video to promote his Freedom 250 tour.
That's crazy. That dude's laughing stuff. Him and Erica Kirk. But so they're losing the war. That's what this is. Let's do something to distract from the facts. All right, but yeah, this here, right? Let's see, who's the strongest? What are the top 5 military powers on the African continent, starting with South Africa? Egypt. They're going to be the ones that, let's see, there's Ethiopia, there's Egypt. Who else? Was it Nigeria was one? What did it say? Libya. Was it that one? No. Yeah. Okay, Egypt, Algeria, South Africa, Ethiopia. Ethiopia, how? Because America done gave them some money. Let me go back. Slovakia. Kenya. Nigeria. Okay, so Nigeria is against the U.S. Algeria is against the U.S. Invest modern equipment from Russia and China. That's not good. You might get South Africa. So 1, 2, 3. You got 3 of those. 3 of those 5. Okay, but it ain't looking good. That means the other, how many you got? 4 or 5. The ones that you got aren't that prolific. So it ain't looking good. It ain't looking good, bruv. So, I mean, we're just checking it out, seeing what's going on. Because whatever this is, right, the whole, whatever's going on in Morocco, right? The whole Morocco thing, well, Morocco is on the side of the U.S. going into what? World War III. So, we're measuring the time. This is what we do. Revelation 11 and 14, the second woe is past. Behold, the third woe is coming shortly. I heard that King James Bible is back. Let's see. I want Sirach, right? Sirach back, or it's not back. Sirach 5. Or they took the Apocrypha out. Oh no, there's Sirach 5 right there. Sirach 5 and 15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. All right, so with that, keep your eye on Africa. AFRICOM. You know what? I wanted to look up AFRICOM. What does AFRICOM mean? What African nations are in Africa? AFRICOM. Question. Go. Tunisia, Morocco. Okay, it says U.S. Africa Command is responsible for U.S. military operations and security cooperation with 53 African nations. I don't believe that for a moment. Egypt is the only African nation not included as it falls under U.S. Central Command. CENTCOM. So AFRICOM ain't nothing. What is CENTCOM? Key partner nations frequently involved in exercises and operations include Morocco, there it is, Ghana, Senegal, Tunisia, Djibouti, and Nigeria. Okay. So there they are. Except for Egypt, there's Morocco, there's Tunisia. What was this? Was it Nigeria or was it? Who was that? There's Nigeria. So Nigeria wasn't with what's his name? Anyway. So this is interesting. Okay. Because these are the only ones. This 53, this AFRICOM must not be as centralized as CENTCOM. Okay, so I just wanted to check that out. Because just like Turkey, right? Turkey is a part of Turkey's part of NATO, right? But what is Turkey going to do? That's Turkey right here, Gomer. Gomer's on the side of Iran. Gomer's on the side of Russia. So they're flip-flopping. Who else is going to flip-flop from AFRICOM, right, when it's time to go fight? So what are we doing? We're just keeping our eye on things. That's what we do. And we're going to continue to do that. Second Ezra 9:1, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So with that, we pray that the elect will ratify you, brothers and sisters.